Okay, my name is Ellie Claire, and this is my vocal practice for my persuasive speech. $1,200. That is the estimated average spent on textbooks and supplies per year of a college student. Just 2 semesters worth. Experts and researchers say that this number represents a very large part of a student's overall expenses towards education. I certainly don't believe that college education should be free, but I think that the price of textbooks has grown out of control. In fact, I mentioned in my introduction speech that I had just purchased a hard copy of a math textbook with an online access code for a whopping total of $353. Not long after, though, I returned the package once I discovered that I could go online and purchase the access code, which included an online version of the textbook, for $99 total. That's a $254 difference just for the hard copy of the book. Even at the smaller price of $99 though, when the number is doubled, tripled, even multiplied by 5, the total cost per semester is staggering, considering the fact that these books are only vital to a student for a semester's length of time. 4 months, give or take. Today, I'm going to explain the problem that students face in their pursuit of education, give some possible solutions to the rising cost of textbooks, and conclude with ways to take action sooner rather than later. A student at the University of Massachusetts elaborates on the struggle that college students face regarding pricey textbooks. She said, "I've had to drop classes because I can't afford the book. It's frustrating." And frustrating it is that students put forth their time, effort, and hard-earned money to put themselves through college only to realize that they must dial back their education because of the impeding cost of textbooks. Selling back books might as well be the worst option because as soon as there's a new edition, you can no longer sell back your unneeded books. If we continue to drop classes because of textbook costs and not ask why, the rising costs will not change. We certainly don't have to put textbook publishers and their employees out of work, but we can be smart about where we buy our books from and how. Recently, the state of California put into effect the College Textbook Affordability Act of 2015. Its goal being to reduce the cost for college students by encouraging faculty to accelerate the adoption of lower cost, high quality, open educational resources. Those resources being free online textbooks and homeworks. In simple terms, the government is actually aware of this problem and working to fix it. However, what they're not doing is allotting certain funds to colleges and universities to pay for textbooks, or even making laws against publishers for that matter. And I know what you're thinking. Ask the government for more money, that's not going to happen. However, education is a prominent topic that government deals with daily and provides money to. Now, regarding our role as a society, if we just want to benefit ourselves individually, we need to research and find the cheapest possible solutions. That means buying used textbooks, or renting textbooks, or using the online versions. As a whole, we can ask questions to our headmasters, to our teachers, about the prices of textbooks, instead of blindly agreeing to what could be the most expensive version of that text. Not only that, but we can advocate for the government to enforce laws. The act that they passed in California was only one that encourages faculty and staff to adopt lower price alternatives, rather than forcing faculty and staff to adopt these resources. If we don't speak up to our professors and authority figures in our colleges, prices of textbooks will continue to rise at 6% per year. If we don't do our research for cheaper alternatives, whether it's through finding rentals on Amazon.com or buying the used book, we will continue to be on the receiving end of another $1,000 bill for textbooks alone. Even worse, we will have to keep prolonging our careers because the class we might need requires a $300 textbook, an outrageous and unnecessary cost. When you show up to your next class, whether it's the beginning of a summer B or a fall class, I challenge you to question your teachers And that doesn't mean walk in with a rebellious and rude attitude, but genuinely express concern and engage in conversation about the textbook he or she might be asking you to purchase. If you come to find that the textbook is absolutely necessary, do your research online before walking into that campus bookstore. I guarantee you will find other options available. Most importantly, always ask questions. If that doesn't change your specific outcome, find like-minded people and start advocating that the government enforce laws, making teachers use open resources, rather than simply encouraging them. $1,200 per year. The number I mentioned in the beginning has to change. We should be spending half of that per year on textbooks and supplies. I've made it clear that students are suffering and missing out on a full education because of the cost of some textbooks. We, as a society, need to not be so submissive to authority when it comes to our money. If something seems outrageously expensive, we question it. So why not do the same with college textbooks? There's no point in buying a $300 textbook when you A, won't even utilize every chapter in that book, B, can't sell it back for more than $10 in return, which was my experience as a freshman, or C, you could find a much cheaper alternative with a little more effort and research. Thank you for listening, and I hope that my speech today has encouraged you to think a little deeper the next time you're asked to purchase a textbook or your child asks you for the money.